Now, there have been 2 explosions in the Egyptian capital. The Interior Ministry says a device went off next to a police institute in the eastern part of Cairo, and a second bomb followed also in the east of the city. Saturday marks the 3rd anniversary of the uprising that removed President Hosni Mubarak from office. Well, just a day earlier, police were targeted in 4 explosions. At least 6 people were killed and around 80 were injured. The biggest blast hit outside Cairo's main police headquarters. For more on that anniversary, we're joined by Abdullah Arian. He's an assistant professor at Georgetown University here in Doha. Good to have you with us, Abdullah. So it is, as we've been mentioning, the 3rd anniversary of the uprising. Of course, the security situation isn't good, but other than that, well, of course, that's a part of it. What is your assessment then of where Egypt is at now on the 3rd anniversary? Do you think that those that went out on the streets calling for Mubarak to step down would have envisaged a military-backed interim government in place now 3 years later, with the army chief most probably likely to run for the president?
Well, certainly they couldn't be further apart from, I think, the original goals of the revolution, which of course bred freedom, social justice. There were a number of demands that were made. It wasn't purely just about getting rid of one authoritarian ruler. It was about really reforming the institutions and trying to bring a systemic change to the Egyptian political system and process. It wasn't simply also about elections. It wasn't just about a democratic transition that would maintain the same old institutions, that would keep the army just as entrenched as it was, that would continue to kind of give certain favor to a certain political and economic elite that existed within Egypt. And of course, what we've seen now is that those forces have come back roaring quite strongly, and this is a result of a number of missteps, both on the part of the revolutionaries, certainly on the part of the Muslim Brotherhood, and the number of divisions within Egypt's kind of various political forces and factions. And I think this is certainly also a result of the kind of support that we've seen for the military from within certain segments of Egyptian society. Of course, it's very difficult to tell how much of that support is really there, but we've seen certainly a number of signs that would indicate that there are a number of Egyptians that also didn't want to see any kind of revolutionary change whatsoever. And those, of course, have been certainly in the ascendancy over the last 7 or 8 months.
What about support for the Muslim Brotherhood? Supporters have called people to come out and protest today. Can the Muslim Brotherhood be silenced?
Well, so far we've seen that they cannot be. I mean, as much as their leaders have been arrested, many of their supporters and members have been killed and detained, and insofar as the organization itself may not necessarily be as fully functional as it was, given the fact that many of their institutions have been banished. It's officially been outlawed, at least by this current government. But certainly we've seen that their supporters are able to continue to mobilize, and they're doing this at a much more localized level. They're doing it kind of within their various neighborhoods and towns. And so as a result, certainly the military has not proven that it's able to continue to silence them, especially from the kind of protests and marches that they've been leading on an almost regular, sustained basis.
Thank you very much for that. That's Abdullah Arian from Georgetown University. Thank you.